Welcome to Blender tutorial 4, Building a Pencil. Okay, so the next step in this series is to go ahead and we're going to create some text. We need to create a mesh out of the text and then use that mesh to cut a hole in the pencils, in the side of the pencil, basically stenciling the text onto the pencil. Okay, so the first step is to go ahead and create the text. We do that by hitting Shift A. Shall try. Actually, let me back up a little bit. You see where I put the cursor here? We need to put the cursor in the right place. If you don't, then you're not going to know where the text is going to be. It's going to come out really large. So if we go ahead and hit just left click anywhere, that'll put our 3D cursor in the general area where we can put this. All right, let's try again. Shift A. We've got our list, so just go ahead and select text. Right, as we're starting to create something up here, something really big. So I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Now you can see how big that text is. Okay, obviously we don't want it to say text, so we're going to go into edit mode, hit tab. That'll give us a cursor, so I'm just going to back up here using the backspace. And we'll put in something good like Bubba, very profound. All right, looks good. Obviously we need to make that a lot smaller. So over here, along the sides here, we've got all of our display types here. If you click the F button, that just gets us into text mode here. I'm going to leave the name of it text 01. I'm going to roll down. Okay, here's the size right here. Right now it's at 100%, which is 1.000. We need to make that a lot smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and, because the increments are probably, well, if we just click it, that should be enough. That goes down 100th every time I click it. You can see the size of it dropping. If I click and drag, well, that's a little better. Okay, that's quicker. All right, that's small enough right now. When I convert it over to mesh, then we'll resize it too. All right. Okay. So I'm going to maximize this view over here. Control Alt Q. All right. Okay. So we're going to change some things here. Also, we need to give it some thickness. So we're going to extrude that out. You do that by using some of the built-in tools that are in with the text panel here. So I'm going to roll down here where it says geometry. We're going to, under modification, we've got the extrude button. I'm just going to extrude that out. See, just by clicking on the arrow once, that does a whole inch. So we don't want a whole inch. That's a little much. So I'm going to double click in the middle of the words here. And I'm going to do maybe 1/4 of an inch, 0.25 inches. That looks good to me. Okay. Okay, right now it's very sharp. The corners are very sharp. So I'm going to bevel it a little bit, and that'll bevel our letters. So just by clicking the depth here, you can see that it gives us a bevel. And what it does is if you go too far, that makes the bevel too far, and obviously it gets too far out. Because we're working such a small scale, we need to really put in some small values. I'm going to try to put in 0.01 inches. See how that goes, 0.01 inches. And that barely registers. I'm going to try a little bit more. Try 0.05 inches. There we go. That's pretty good. I like that. There's other things you can do too. You can change the resolution of the bevel, which is basically bends the bevel. Here, I'll show you. Just by clicking it, it makes it softer and softer. It puts more geometry in there. But anyway, I'm not going to make it too soft. Okay, that looks fine. Got the word Bubba in there. Looks super. Okay, that's good. I'm going to get out of edit mode now, hit tab, and we need to assign a material. So I'll just do that real quick. Okay, I click the material node, and that we need to roll up a little bit. It gives us our window. So we'll do plus to create a socket, and then new to give it a name and plug in some data into it. I'm just going to call it text. And I like white. We'll keep it white. I'll just turn the intensity way up on it. There we go. Okay. White makes a really good stencil. At least I think it does. Okay, let's convert this into a mesh and then move it into position here. Because a text is a what it is a vector. So it's pure mathematics. If this were to render out right now, it probably wouldn't even render because we have to change it into a mesh first, where it gives us polygons and vertices to put a material onto. So we'll go ahead and do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't even work if we tried to use this as a beveling, excuse me, as the boolean tool to drill into the side of the pencil. It wouldn't even work. Okay, I'm going to go back into quad view here. Control Alt Q. We'll get this into position. Obviously, it's way too big, but I want to convert it into a mesh first. So you do that by going all the way down here to the bottom, to the header of the timeline window here, where it says Object. Just click on that, and at the very top, it says Convert To. So we'll select that, and it's not. This is if you want to create a curve from something that's already a mesh or text, but we want to do mesh from curve. All right. Or meta, or surf, or text. Okay, so we click that, and now it has vertices and geometry that we can use to drill. Okay, so we want to size this down some more. I'm going to hit S, and we'll just size this down carefully. I'll zoom in, middle mouse scroll wheel, hold down Shift so we can zoom and pan. Keep moving that in position. It needs to come down a little more. There we go. All right, that's not too bad. That looks like it could fit into the plane a bit. Now we just need to rotate it. Okay, I'll hit R for rotate. We'll rotate that into position like this. So if I hit the period key on the numpad, that'll zoom in here. All right, we're looking pretty good. I'll just keep it in the middle. Maybe I'll stretch that out vertically so it can cover up, so it's a little bit easier to read. So we want to scale it along the z-axis, which is the blue line here. So I'm just going to hit S and then Z and drag, and that'll scale it along the z-axis for us. All right, looks fine. I'm going to go ahead and move this into position. I'm going to change the view to to wireframe. I'll hit Z. We'll drag that into the middle here where it's overlapping the geometry of the pencil. Okay, now we need to select our pencil, hit Z again to get back out. I'm going to right-click on the pencil. We need to plug in the name of the text material so it could accept the new material that's going to be drilled into it. Right now, in the material editor, we show three different materials that's already there, but we need to add one more. So we're going to add a socket. Here it is on the bottom. Instead of new, we're going to load in a socket that's already, we're going to load in a material that's already existing. So it's text. So I'm just going to click text here. So that went and loaded it in. It loaded into the object, but not the vertices. So it hasn't assigned it to any of the faces that are in the pencil. It'll do that automatically once we do our drill. Okay, so now with the pencil still selected, we need to go ahead and get into our modifier. So I'm going to click the wrench tool up here. Well, it's the modifier. And we're going to add a modifier. It's boolean. Instead of doing intersect this time, we're going to put it on subtract or difference. Before I do that, I want to turn off my eye, which is interactive real-time view. We want to let the computer do the work instead of the video card. It'll take too much time if we do it the other way. Okay, so it's on intersect here. We're going to go to object. Text is the object that's going to do the drilling. We click that, and then we hit apply. And we'll see how long that takes. Sometimes it takes a little while depending on how complicated the item is. So we'll just wait for it for a minute. Sometimes the computer actually freezes up. Okay, so it erased everything. Maybe I had it on the wrong one. Did I have it on intersect? I think I did. Let me undo it, Control Z. Yep, I left it on intersect. Let's try it the right way. Let's put it on difference. So you can see what happens when you use the intersect. It gets rid of everything that's outside of the drill. We'll hit apply again, see how that goes. And we're waiting, waiting, waiting. All right. All the stuff went away here, so let's drag the drill tool out of the way, see how we did. Very nice. Okay. So look at a good close look at this, Control Alt Q. See how clean our drill was. Not bad. It looks like it left part of the B sticking out of the top. So to fix that, we're just going to have to select those faces and get rid of them. So we'll do that. Let's get rid of our tool here, our drilling tool. We'll just hit X, delete, and go back into quad view. Put it in. We'll put it in wireframe mode here, and let's get our vertices. Or actually, yeah, if we select the vertices there, that should take care of the problem. So I'll hit Tab to go into. Let's see, we're still in object mode here. We need to get into edit mode. Oh, I need to select the object. There we go. Select the object, hit Tab, and that'll put us in edit mode. Okay, now we need to put our selection mode here into vertices. It looks like there's already some vertices selected. I'm going to hit A to deselect everything. And I'm going to draw a box. Just hit B. Just draw a box around those vertices right here. And we will hit X to get rid of it. We're going to delete vertices. All right, now it's much cleaner. So let's, I'm going to hit period on the numpad. Oh, there it is, it's way down there. We'll hit Tab to get back into object mode. Hit period, and that'll zoom in close. Z to get back into our regular view, shade view. All right, now I see a very nice looking, clean drill text that is happening, that has already happened, and it looks fantastic. So we'll zoom out and examine our handiwork. And I think we can be very happy with that. Okay, next one, we're going to do the eraser, which is really easy. And then after that, we'll do our crimp using curves. All right, thanks for listening. See you in a bit.